Hey everybody, it's Joric. Welcome back. I made some videos about Turkey recently, and a few people messaged me and just said, hey, is Turkey safe? We really want to go. We want to explore, see the history, enjoy the food, but just we're always worried, and these are people specifically living in the United States or Canada, what we see on the news. We're concerned it's a little too close to some conflict. So I thought I'd make this video and just give you some basics about safety in general when traveling, and they apply to Turkey as well as anywhere else in the world. So as the point of making this video, so there's conflict in the Middle East, also based upon where Turkey is located, north of Turkey, Ukraine, issues going on there, and Turkey also borders Syria. There's action happening, military action happening there, and conflict. So when people see that, and when we were going to Turkey, there were a lot of people, why are you going? Are you worried? Thinking that something was going to happen to us. And so when we travel, regardless of where we're going, we have some basic things that we think about when we're going, whether it be to a beach vacation in a major city or out in the middle of nowhere in a country. And Turkey actually hit all of those for us. So I want to pass along these, I think they're basic tips that you can think of when going to another country, in this case, Turkey. So from a safety standpoint, going to smaller cities, let's say, when I say not Istanbul or Ankara, but Kayseri, Konya, Izmir, Esfis, Antalya, for those places, like any trip to another country, I would say if you have a wallet, keep it in the front pocket. Same thing with a phone. If you have a purse, sideways across your body, not on one shoulder. When you sit down to eat, I would not put the purse or the phone on the table. I'd keep it in your pocket or keep the purse slung across you. It's too easy for people to pick things up or take them. But because we travel and you have to have some situational awareness, we never felt at any point in going to these cities, smaller places in Turkey, that we felt like anything was going to happen. Yes, every once in a while you are looking around and you're taking in the scenery and the setting, and you are paying attention to people, but we weren't obsessed with, we're on public transit, we have to watch out. It just wasn't the case. It felt no different than going to any major city or a smaller city in the United States, quite honestly. And I want to talk about that briefly because I think there's also a misnomer about Turkey, maybe from a religious standpoint or something. It is a secular country. So I will say this, some friends of ours, when we were going, they were saying, well, you know, everyone, especially female, dressed head to toe in a full hijab, and there was this stuff that I think either watching too many movies or what they see on the news isn't necessarily how it translates to reality when you go to these countries. But there wasn't any thought at any point in time anywhere that we went that something bad was going to happen. So in the smaller towns and smaller areas, yes, situational awareness, you know, carry things in the front pocket and purse across your body. Now let's talk about major cities like Ankara or Istanbul. Istanbul, it's massive. You're looking at 3 different parts of the city divided by either the Bosphorus or the Golden Horn. And with that, there's millions of people that are there. And you also have millions of tourists that go every year to visit this city. We went to mosques, we went to eat food, we went to churches, we went to historical sites. You name it, we went to it. And again, we employ the same type of, perception that we have going to a New York City or an LA or Toronto, is being aware of your surroundings. Yes, you're looking, you are, as you're walking around, looking to see if anyone's trying to check you out or pay attention to you, but no different than any other city. Keeping your valuables in the front pocket, purse across body, or handbag across body. If you have a backpack, which often I take a backpack when we travel, I would say that I don't keep valuables in it. And when I say that, if someone rips off a raincoat from my backpack, so what? I can get another one. If they rip off a pen and paper, because I tend to take notes, so be it. But I don't keep phone. I don't keep camera. I don't keep something where someone could walk behind me and probably unzip part of it without me knowing it. I don't keep valuables in it. I just keep stuff that extra change clothes. They want that, more power to them. If it fits, who cares? But we never felt like there was any type of issue using the metro system, the trains, buses. There were no issues. It felt like being in a major city in the United States or Canada. So I hope this eases your mind a little bit. Now, I will also say we travel often. And I spent a lot of time as a kid going to downtown Detroit to go to sporting events and things. And when people think of Detroit, they automatically think that you're going to get mugged or robbed. Again, that's a myth and not the case. But I think I've had to have situational awareness for a long time. And because we travel fairly often internationally, we kind of know what to look for. We tend to stay into tourist spots. I would say when you're traveling to Turkey, if you're going to go on a day trip or tour, so if it's a guided tour, not worried. But if you're going to go on your own, I would try to make sure where's the places for gas, how far off the beaten path are you going. I would stick to the major highways or roadways to get to and from that attraction. In the cities, again, Istanbul in particular, one of the biggest cities out there, it is easy to get around. And the only place in Turkey, and I'll say where you may get a little claustrophobic or you may get worried, is the Grand Bazaar in Istanbul. And it is grand and it is bizarre, and I don't mean it from shops. Yes, there's shops from the bizarre term, but it's bizarre. You will have there. It seems like there's thousands of shops under these roofs, and you will have owners of the shops or managers or employees come up to you while you're walking and ask you to check out spices, have some tea with them, check out linens and clothing and pottery. And that can be a little overwhelming because you may have someone from the left come at you, someone from the right, someone in front of you try to have you go in one direction or another, and they're all trying to get you to buy stuff. And it can be overwhelming. And that is one location of every place in Turkey where you can get jammed up, meaning you have people coming from all different directions. It's hard to move sometimes in the bazaar. And that is a place where you do have to be more mindful of where your valuables are. Again, keeping things in front pockets or in a purse when you're trying things or looking to put on stuff or trying spices or having coffee or whatever it is, looking at pottery. Again, keeping the purse slung across body and being mindful. If you're going to use your phone, put it back in your pocket, your wallet, try to be mindful of that. I would not be pulling out my wallet in the aisleways of the Grand Bazaar for any reason, just because there's too many people. And that is an area where, although we had a guided tour through parts of Istanbul, it ended at the Grand Bazaar. And the gentleman who is from Istanbul said, yeah, this is an area where you do have to be mindful because many Westerners coming, I will say, don't look the part. I can't fake this and say I'm from the Middle East or I'm from Europe or I'm from Asia. I look Slavic in nature, or maybe I've been told I look slightly Russian with my features, but I stand out like a Westerner because often I'm wearing a ball cap, I'm wearing shorts, so I scream tourist, and I have a backpack. So with that, if you happen to tend to look that way too, I would, again, just be mindful of it. The Grand Bazaar is the only place where I felt like when we were walking through, even in the shops, I kind of felt like I was always looking around. But there's nowhere else where I felt that way. So Turkey, if it's something that you've been worried about and safety is a concern, I would not think that it's a concern. It's no different to going to Budapest, going to London, Paris, Rome, Athens, Prague, Lisbon. I felt the same way. Didn't feel any more uncomfortable or comfortable than any of those places, and including the United States. So just again, if you don't travel internationally often, keep your head on the swivel, be mindful, and I would say try to employ some situational awareness. And your trip to Turkey, if you've been delaying, don't book it and go. It's amazing. The food there is just absolutely top notch. And I'll say the people were very cool and very inviting. It was a great place to go, and we're glad we did it, even though there's conflict around Turkey. In Turkey itself was perfectly fine. So hopefully this settles some questions or eases some angst that you have. As always, thank you so much for watching and enjoy your travels.